I got a phone call this week, Monday afternoon. John Kuhn called me, okay? And he was playing that night, and they were in Texas. Is it Texas or Tennessee? Who'd they play? Texas. He was in Texas at the hotel. And he calls me up, and he goes, Coach Mac, great job, and all this kind of stuff, you know, and talking. He goes, and he's telling me how good our season's going. He's been following us, and he said, but the real reason I'm calling you is that I'm afraid that the captain's going to pick me to give the pregame speech tonight. I said, okay, John. He goes, well, I need your advice. He goes, you're pretty darn good at that. And he says, give me some ideas that I could talk about. So I gave him some things that we talk about that I've done in the past and things like that. And, you know, he said, thank you very much. And he hangs up the phone. I sit back, I'm sitting at my desk and I'm thinking, isn't that something? An NFL player calling me for advice, huh? So it was great. It was, I haven't heard from him since the game, but they did win, so I hope he did give the speech, so it did work. And this has started a long time, even when I was a player. Doc Richards, all right, they come every week to the stadium to see our players who's injured and things like that, and they've been doing that for years and years and years. But anyhow, it started out, Doc Richards Sr. used to bring one of his assistants with him named Carol. Her name was Carol, and she helped him in the office and things. Well, she started this tradition. Every time we'd win a game, she would bring brownies. Okay? So she did that and for years and years and years. Well, then, she retired and she has moved away. So now, believe it or not, 90-year-old Doc Sr. bakes brownies every week for our players. He calls up, he calls Steve Heckler up to get the score of the game if we won or lost, and if we win, he goes out and buys the brownie mix and makes brownies for the team. So that just proves to you that the family atmosphere and the commitment that people have to the program and to our players. So I appreciate Doc Richards doing that. Janine's probably the MVP of our staff because she does a tremendous job for our entire program, and I think people around campus who deal with our program deal with her quite a bit and understand how good of a job she does and how on top everything is. And people got to understand, we're running an organization of 110 people, and she's right on top of all that, so we really appreciate all your work, Janine, so thank you very much. One thing I can say is I think as a coaching staff, or I know as a coaching staff, we're all on the same page, and I think we understand each other very well and what we expect from each other, and it works great. I can tell you, I've been around a lot of staffs, and this staff the last 2 years, it's been the same staff the last 2 years. I'm going to tell you what, you very seldom hear any words of argument or anything like that. It's just that the people, the coaches understand what our goals are. They understand how we're trying to get to them, and everybody's on the same page. So it's very nice. It's a great working condition right now. Zach Zoli was 48 for 63 with no interceptions for 581 yards and 9 touchdown passes. So I think Zach needs a little round of applause right there. Now let me go back to say something. Zach didn't do that on his own. Zach had running backs. Zach had offensive line that did an incredible job on Saturday. Incredible job offensive line did. And the wide receivers, of course, caught everything that was thrown to them. So, Zach pulled the trigger, but a lot of other people were there to help the whole thing out. So we're very proud of all of them. Trevor Harmon had 18 receptions for 288 yards and 5 touchdowns. He needs a hand too. Trevor ran some great routes, and Trevor made some great catches. He just stepped up. We were hurt. We were banged up at the receiver spot on Saturday, and he really stepped up and made a difference. And here we got Jake Baskerville, who had 9 catches for 144 yards and 4 touchdowns, and nobody's even talking about Jake. Let's get Jake around. I learned that our team always believes in each other, and I really saw that on the sidelines on Saturday. I don't think our confidence was ever shaken at all on Saturday. I think the offense knew they could score, and I think the offense knew that the defense would tighten up and would come through for them, and I think the defense knew that we just needed to settle down and play football, and it all came together. I've never been around a team that acts the way this team does, and I'm talking about acting in the right way, in a family atmosphere, in a team concept, knowing that They're not cocky, but they're confident. They're confident, and that's something special because that's what we were lacking last year. We lost 3 games in the fourth quarter last year because we couldn't finish. We're finishing this year. Every fourth quarter, we are finishing this year, and that's important, and that just that's special. And we gotta really finish this week. That's for sure.
The reason they're good, there's a reason they have a lot of turnovers, is because they force you to make mistakes. They impose their will on you. They're more physical. They get to the ball faster. They hit you harder, and that's what our defense did. It's not that offense failed. It's our defense was successful, and that was a huge difference in that ball game, and it's what really made a difference. When you're in a shootout early, like we were, and all you need is that one little turnover. It's not a little turnover, but it's that one mistake. That one mistake, that momentum changers. That momentum is so critical, and I like to tip my hat to the defense because they made it happen.
Ever since you started playing in midget football, this is what you were dreaming about. This is the kind of games that you wanted to play in. Ones that matter. Ones that are going to have big crowds. Ones that people are going to be excited about. This is why you play the game. We got to go there and have fun on Saturday because we don't get very many chances to be 7-0, and we won't get very many chances to be 8-0. So this is our chance to have fun and play the game. The Red Raiders are focused on one game at a time. I'm talking about we're 0-0 right now. Our season is Westchester. It's going to be a great atmosphere at that game on Saturday. So you guys that are going, you're going to enjoy a good game. It's going to be a tough game. We're excited. We've had a good week of practice. I think our players understand what's in front of them and what our goals, what we can achieve, and what kind of a special season we are having right now that doesn't come along every year. So we got to take advantage of it and soak it up a little bit. But at the same time, we got to make sure we're working our tails off to be the best we can be. One group I do know that's going on Saturday is the band. So let's give it up for the band. And they're coming in full force, which will be about 170 people. So we'll have 170 other players with us because I know they're on our side, no question. So thank you very much for coming tonight. I look forward to seeing you guys next Thursday again, okay? Thank you.